it's Jules. I'm here today with Roby Harris, who is a mother, a grandmother, an award-winning author of children's picture books, a child development specialist, but to me, she's actually a superhero. I didn't tell you that, but that's how I see you. All of us today have this issue of explain to our children the birds and the bees, and we don't have the background, we don't have the tools, and you gave that to me in one of your books, It's Perfectly Normal. And you have a series of books that address children at all different ages with this exact topic, sexual development, human development, what's happening with my body. And they're beautifully done. And they gave me exactly what I needed for my 3 sons.
Well, that's terrific. And I think about these books as being really about health. Mm-hmm. How do we keep our kids healthy? Because most kids enter puberty healthy. And not all, sadly, but most. So that if we can give them the most up-to-date information about their bodies, about puberty, about what's going to happen, and about how they need to be responsible about their bodies.
So much is coming at them, and I like your perspective that we have a responsibility, and we love our children, and we want to make sure they get the information they need to be healthy. And that's what you've given us here.
That's
Roby.
exactly why I did these books, because a book allows a child to have some privacy.
Oh, that's good.
And with our oldest book, It's Perfectly Normal, I hear stories again and again from parents about how children say, oh, I know all this stuff, I've read it before, my friends have told me. Then they take the book, they run into their room, and they close the door. I think, again, as parents, we need to say to our kids, you know, this is a book I read, and it's the only advice I would give to parents, is to say, read it first, you'll have a temporary leg up on your child. And I think as parents, and now I'm a grandparent, we don't have to think that we're alone.
Well, I actually breathed a sigh of relief when you said your sort of bare minimum recommendation is pick the right book for the child, ages 4 and up, 7 and up, 10 and up. Read it yourself, be ahead of the child for a couple of seconds, and hand it over. I just kind of went,
and I think
I've done my job. I love that.
Right, and I think you can say to your child, you know, I read this book, I found it interesting. I actually think you will too, because it's about how we all grew and developed.
So I wondered about one thing. I think that people should know that Michael Emberley did a wonderful job of doing anatomically correct, sort of cartoony pictures of people. They're very friendly, warm, approach with a sense of humor, but do people ever get upset about that or think that that's just a little too far?
Well, first of all, if anybody gets upset, it's the adults. It's not the kids. These books are honest, both in terms of Michael's extraordinary drawings and my text, because if we're not honest with our kids and we don't give them all the information, then we have no credibility. It's like, oh, they didn't talk about that, so, you know, why bother reading this or looking at this book? Our bodies are normal, and hence the title, you know, It's Perfectly Normal. And why shouldn't we know how they work so that we can take better care of them? And that's what this is all about.
You've done a great job with these books, Roby. I really see them as a public service in the sort of warmest, most helpful way for me as a parent, but obviously for my children and eventual grandchildren like yours.